Do you ever feel like you were meant for more? Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. My name is Rich. In this video, I want to dive into that question. Do you ever feel like you were meant for more? For me, as I grew up, I started getting into art and music and creativity as a way to express myself. And it gave me this most amazing feeling when I would sit and draw. It gave me this feeling of power. Now, I don't want to be like, power. Not that type of power, but just like, oh my gosh, I can make stuff. I can make anything. Because I can draw it. I can think it. It was like this realization that what came into my imagination could come into existence. Yeah, okay, albeit in the form of crayon drawings or stories, but it felt like I could make something magical. It felt magical, and it still feels magical. And then as I grew up, I was like, yeah, I want to do this. I want to create stuff. I want to do art. I want to do music. I want to do videos. I want to do photography. I want to create and capture all these amazing things. And it sort of became like a fire in my belly, like this driving force that was pushing me forward. And it wasn't like pushing me forward into some specific path. It was just like I felt like there was more. I felt like there was something I had to give or had to do. And I still feel like that. Not that I'm not achieving my life or not achieving the things I should be, but that there's something special here. And I think that about all of us. I think there is something special in all of us that we are here to give. We're here to serve and we're here to help others. And just to kind of put a little twist on that, it becomes very like a sort of a selfless act. I'm here for service type of thing. And there's, for me, there's a bit of a negative connotation about this being like endlessly selfless. But actually, if we reframe it to be like, okay, let's say you write music. You write a piece of music that you share and somebody hears it and it helps them. Even if it helps them feel like they're not alone, or feel like there's light at the end of the tunnel, or feel like someone understands them, or just brings them joy, or even brings them sadness, helps them tap into their emotions, you are helping them. Now, the issue I've always had as a creator, as a producer of music, is that I kind of had it in the back of my mind that it's selfish to pursue creative work because you're just doing whatever the hell you want. That's other people saying that. I've got this sort of subconscious thing stuck in the back of my mind about it being selfish to do music. It's selfish to do art because you're just getting to sit around at home in your pants and do whatever the hell you want. You're not, regardless of what other people are. Other people are going to work and working hard and toiling, but actually what we do, there's something special about it. We give these creations to the world and we help people. And I think, for me anyway, that is that thing. That is that I'm meant for something more. And that more is the creations that I make. That more is, there is more for me to give. And the fact that I also love the creation process and I love sharing it, it's just an added bonus. I get to be able to create something for me that is also a gift. It's kind of like when you enjoy buying people Christmas presents and you enjoy the feeling of wrapping them and taking care of them. It's kind of that. If you imagine the next piece of art, the next comic, the next piece of music, the next video you make, it's like a little gift that you're giving to the world. That, I think, is the something more. It's not that you're meant for more money or meant for fame. It's that you're meant for, I don't want to say the word purpose because it's so loaded, but you're meant for something that is truly you. And the tricky part is getting to that. What is it that is truly you? You know, when you feel like you're meant for more, how do you take that feeling and encapsulate it and go for it? I think a lot of it is understanding that we are stopping ourselves a lot of the time because we're scared. We're stopping ourselves because other people have told us that, you know, it's selfish to do music, or that you're never going to succeed, you know, all these things that we hear as creative people. That stops us focusing on this thing, this fire inside of us, this meant for more feeling. Because I bet there's something inside of you that just wants to be shared with the world. And the thing is, even when you do know, even when you do go, okay, well, I want to share music, then all these other questions and issues start to arise. Okay, well, what music do I want to share? How am I going to share it? How often do I share it? What platform do I use? What distribute? All these questions about the hows suddenly kind of come in front of you again and stop you from going for that thing. And I've had that. I've felt since I was very young that music and art was my thing. And videos. I've been doing video work for like 30 odd, how am I, 25 years? You know, I've always used video as a form of expression and a form of art. But I held back on that because I was so concerned about the hows and the whys that I just kind of let go of it. I thought, yeah, video. Yeah, no, video's not for me. I don't want to edit stuff. And the same with music. My late teens, mid-teens actually, I was like, right, music. This has helped me so much. Music helped me so much. Kind of go through the sort of tumultuous emotions that you have as a teenager and helped me understand myself a bit more. And I knew then that I was like, I'm going to do music. Music is going to be my thing, and I don't know how. But then when the how questions started coming in, I still had this feeling of like, well, I'm meant for more, but I don't know what that more is. I think it's music, but I don't know how. So even when you go, yes, I know what it is that I'm meant for more to do, you then have all these other things that sort of get in the way and stop you from pursuing this thing. And it's kind of like this. You kind of need to just hold the thing. I'm going to make music and video and art, and I'm going to share it with the world. And I'm going to do it in the way that feels right, and the way that feels easy, and the way that feels fun. I've talked before about on a previous video about how you're supposed to know what platform to use. There's so many platforms, and everyone's telling you to be on every platform everywhere all the time, and everyone's telling you to release one video every week, everyone's telling you to release one single every 6 weeks, everyone's telling you to do promo campaigns and email lists and all this stuff, and you go, why would you do? I'm meant for more. This is my thing. What feels like me? What feels right? And the scary thing is that even having this feeling, this belief in yourself, it's like someone's throwing little pebbles at you all the time, you know. You should be on TikTok, you know. You should be doing more short form videos. You should be using a better camera, you know. Your music's rubbish, you know. All these sort of inner critic, not actually, they're coming from inside really, aren't these pebbles? A lot of them are coming from outside, but mostly inside. They make it feel difficult to pursue. But actually, when you just go, right, okay, for instance, this video stuff, I want to do vlogs and I want to share my music. I just want to share everything that I'm doing. I want to share the process of making artwork. I want to share the process of making the music. I want to share the process of this. I don't want to have to edit. I like filters that make it look old and nostalgic. I don't want to have to use a snazzy camera because it scares me, because even when I've got a snazzy camera it still doesn't look as good as everyone else, because then I have to focus on snazzy lighting. I don't want to have snazzy lighting. I want to be able to take my camera outside and just create and share that. And all of a sudden I go, oh, well, if I take away all of those things, what am I left with? Just doing this thing, just sharing, and sharing as much as I'd like. Not sticking to a once a week, not sticking to even once a day. Yeah, okay, maybe I'll stick to once a day for a bit, but just do the thing. If you want to be a dancer and you feel like you're meant for that, you feel like that's where your heart sings, dance and share it. It's the same with art. Do the art and share it. Share it in a way that feels nice and easy and fun. This stuff I'm doing now is the most fun I've had doing YouTube videos. It's even more fun than my podcasts, which I loved because I would just grab my phone and walk and talk. But I thought to myself, no, I can't do the same on video. I can't just press record and then just chat for 12 minutes or 15 minutes or 5 minutes, whatever it is. But actually, you can. That feeling you have that you're meant for more, that is, some would call it your higher soul, some would call it your, God's mission for you, some would call it your destiny, some would call it just desire. That is the thing that you've got to hold on to. And you go, okay, I'm meant to be doing this thing, so just do the thing. And it's so scary, but it's so simple. And I've ignored it for years. Yes, okay, I actually achieved becoming a professional composer, but I've focused so much more on what's the quickest way to get me earning money from my music, or what's the way that's going to earn me money from my music, rather than what's the music I want to do and how am I going to do it. I wanted to create my own record label and releases from the get-go, but I didn't know how to do it. So those hows stopped me. And then when I figured out how to release music, then the hows of how to get people listening to my music stopped me. Because when you're working for a music publisher, they do all the work. They just come to you and say, write music for us. And you go, okay, you write music, it's done. You don't have to think about it. All those hows just disappeared. Whereas now it's just like, okay, I know what I want to do. And I know what I'm meant to be doing. I know what I'm meant for now. And yeah, it's taken me 41 years. Okay, I probably wouldn't have been thinking about this as a child, but it's taken me that long to get to this point where I'm comfortable sharing like this, and I'm comfortable sharing my music, and I'm comfortable just writing the music I want to write and sharing the music I want to share. And it feels incredible. And it doesn't need to be this thing where it's like it takes all of this time. You can just do it the way that feels fun, the way that feels easy, the way that feels most like you. Because that's how you're going to get people focusing on you. I spent so long just thinking in terms of what are other people doing that's successful and how can I copy that? Because they're successful, therefore if I do the same thing, I'll be successful. Yeah, that works, but what that leads you to is you're separated from this I'm meant for more, because you're not paying attention to what this more is. You're just focusing so much on what other people are doing. And yeah, it's really hard not to, because everybody's everywhere doing everything all the time. But actually, if you focus back on that, what's important to you, maybe that is just writing. And every day you share some writing. And every day you focus on writing something that you want to write, that you are going to share. And you focus on that like a pinpoint. I look at my other YouTube channel, which has, at this point in time, a lot more subscribers than this channel. Not a huge amount, but it's never done particularly well, because I've always been kind of imitating other people and doing what I saw other people succeeding at. So I saw some people doing like Logic tutorials and doing quite well with it. So I thought, I'll do Logic tutorials. And then I saw people sharing their music. I'll share my music. Then I saw people doing vlogs. I thought, I'll do some vlogs, sorry. And then I saw people doing sort of plugin reviews. Oh, I'll do plugin reviews. Even though when I was doing the plugin reviews, I was sitting there thinking, I just don't enjoy this. And yeah, I quite enjoyed some of the process of those things. I particularly enjoyed it when I started sharing my own music. That was really nice. But that YouTube channel is like this whole kind of mishmash pot of other people's influences on me. And yeah, this has had influences. And yes, I'm standing on the shoulders of giants. And you can do the same. But you have to always be thinking about this, I'm meant for more, and what is that more, and what is it that you're meant to do? I know a lot of people kind of resist this idea of, oh, you're meant for this purpose. Because you could have other things. It could be multi-purposes. And, resisting the idea of destiny or the divine or whatever it is, or the universe. No, thank you. That's fine. If you resist that, that's fine. If it boils down to the most basic thing is, what do you want to do for each day? What do you want to do? Do that. And do what feels fun and easy and like you. It doesn't feel like me to have really good quality cameras. It doesn't feel like me to spend hours mixing. I don't work like that. So why should I make myself work like that? And it's when you embrace those things, you feel that glow inside you. That fire seems to grow even more. And it feels like, yes, this is awesome. I'm really, really grateful for all of you watching and all of you listening. And I hope you got something out of this. And if you've got any experiences with this type of stuff, please leave comments below. I'm always intrigued to hear what you guys have to say. And I think it's really important that we keep a dialogue open about this stuff too. It's not just a simple case of, well, I earn money from music, therefore I am pursuing my dream. No, it's not always about that. There's something special in you. So let's go get it. You're awesome, and I'll see you in the next one.